Hello and welcome to another episode of What Travis Says. My name is Travis and let's talk about David Tennant's most controversial line in Doctor Who. At the end of Russell T Davies' run, The End of Time, it showed an explanation for the Master's drumming, it showed more history about the Time Lords, and it also showed the departure of David Tennant from the show, regenerating into Matt Smith. At the end of the story, the 10th Doctor goes and visits some of his most notable companions, saying goodbye to them because he knows that he's about to regenerate. And right before he does, he utters the phrase, "I don't want to go." A very impactful and emotional line. And as I've mentioned before, this is around the time when I first got into Doctor Who, right at the end of Tennant's run, right before Matt Smith's regeneration and introduction into the series, and then we had to wait over a year for the new season featuring Matt Smith, so I went back and watched a lot of classic Doctor Who at that time because, I was hooked. So a few days ago, an article posted by Screen Rant said that the "I don't want to go" line is actually one of the most controversial lines in Doctor Who. And I didn't really understand why before reading. But then after reading the article, I still don't understand why. Screen Rant said that Tennant's "I don't want to go" line isn't in line with the previous Doctor's regenerations into new forms, that it was very reluctant, that it wasn't anything that we had seen before, that it was a very different change. And Screen Rant's article goes on to say that Stephen Moffat was able to fix this line with the introduction of the War Doctor and the rationalization of the regeneration energy into the hand to reverse that regeneration, because David Tennant, as the Doctor, knew that he had a very finite number of faces, a very finite number of ways that he could cheat death. So in a sense, Stephen Moffat recontextualized the meaning behind "I don't want to go," knowing that after this one last face, he wasn't going to be able to live on and regenerate into anyone else. He was going to finally die. But I'm not sure if I see it that way, because I took David Tennant's mention of "I don't want to go" at face value. When I first heard him speak the phrase "I don't want to go," my first thought was, oh, this is kind of neat that they gave him a little bit of ad-lib room. He doesn't necessarily want to leave Doctor Who. He will miss the role as he goes on to do bigger and better things while Matt Smith takes his place. I never really saw it as a controversial line. Compared to other Doctor regenerations, sure, they've been more open to the fact that they are regenerating into someone new. The 9th Doctor, talking to Rose, he was kind of preparing her for what was going to happen. He was saying that he was fantastic and that he was going to change in front of her. This was something that she was going to need to witness. He was giving her regeneration prep. But the 10th Doctor, as we know, regenerated in his TARDIS all alone. He regenerated with all of these thoughts and feelings going through his mind of he is not going to be the same he that he is right now in the near future. That made more sense in my head. And it harkens back to one of my other favorite 10 quotes. "Some new man goes sauntering away, and I am dead." Yeah, it's grim, it's bleak, it's a really dark way to think about regeneration, but he's right. Every single cell changes. You never really know what you're gonna get, if you're gonna get a Peter Capaldi or a Jodie Whittaker. I'll link the Screen Rant article down below. It's an interesting read. I'm just not sure if I'm 100% on board with "I don't want to go" being such a controversial line, because Screen Rant makes a big deal about how Stephen Moffat fixed the regeneration cycle, how the Doctor got handed new regenerations from the Time Lords, and that's how we got Peter Capaldi and Jodie Whittaker. I just don't think the "I don't want to go" line is that controversial. But anyway, let me know what you think in those comments down below. That's it for this episode of What Travis Says. My name is Travis. Thank you for listening to what I have to say, and you will see me tomorrow.